Sairam students, and welcome back in this session. Today we'll be doing a lesson from your Beehive, that is lesson 6, My Childhood by APJ Abdul Kalam. So first let's understand something about the author, that is APJ Abdul Kalam. Abul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam, this was his name, was an Indian aerospace scientist and politician who served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. He was born and raised in Rameshwaram, that is Tamil Nadu, and studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and science administrator, mainly at the Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, and Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, and was intimately involved in India's civilian space program and military missile development efforts. So he participated a lot in these development programs which related to space and missile making. He thus came to be known as the Missile Man of India for his work on the development of ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. So he is very well known as the Missile Man of India. Okay. He has achieved lot of laurels in his life, lot of awards won by him. To name a few of them, it's a Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. He has received the highest civilian award, that is a Bharat Ratna. He has also been awarded Indira Gandhi Award for National Integration by Government of India. Also Veer Savarkar Award, Shastra Ramanujam Prize given to him by the Shanmuga Arts, Science, Technology and Research Academy of India. Also the Von Braun Award by the National Space Society. So his work has been applauded a lot by people all over the world, and especially by the government of India. So he's received lot of awards. To move further related to your lesson, this particular lesson is an extract from APJ Abdul Kalam's autobiography titled Wings of Fire, wherein he speaks about his childhood. So this particular chapter is an extract, a part of his autobiography titled Wings of Fire. In this chapter, he is speaking about his own childhood, how his childhood was. The theme of My Childhood is that our life is shaped by our experiences and the people around us. So he has explained how the people around him, how the experiences that we have in our childhood helps us to shape our life for the good, better, worse, whatever. So he's speaking about his own childhood in this particular extract. Kalam's secure childhood, inspiring parents, supportive friends and honest teachers instilled great values in him that gave him wings of fire. So the people who were around him, the lessons that he learned from his teachers, the support that he got from his friends, the inspiration, the values that he learned from his parents, all these helped him achieve what he achieved in life. So it gave him the wings of fire to grow, to move ahead in life. So this is the theme of this particular extract. Now let's quickly look at the characters whom we'll be dealing with in this particular chapter. First of all, it's APJ Abdul Kalam. He had immense affection and respect for his parents. He was hardworking and enterprising right from his childhood. A very hardworking child, even as a child, had lot of respect and obeyed his parents a lot. He was very hardworking and had the will to learn. We have Shiva Subramanya Iyer. He was a science teacher who was very broad-minded and a rebel who always wished to bring about a transformation in the society. So his science teacher who had a wish to change the entire system, because at that particular time there was a lot of caste-based problems that took place in society. So he wanted to transform the society. We also have Ramanath Shastri. He was Kalam's very close friend who was very upset when he could not sit beside him in the class. Okay, because he belonged to an Orthodox Hindu family, and when he was not allowed to sit beside Kalam, he felt really upset due to the prevailing caste system. Then we have Kalam's parents. Kalam's parents were very generous by nature, and they always practiced the values of honesty and self-discipline. So these are the main characters in this particular chapter whom you will be learning about. So now let's move with the chapter. Let's begin with the lesson to understand how his childhood was. I was born into a middle-class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. So erstwhile means former. In the past it was called Madras, now it's called Chennai. Okay. My father, Jainul Abdin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. Okay, innate wisdom, inborn. He had an inborn wisdom which was in his own nature. His nature was that he was very wise by nature. So he belonged to this particular family. However, his father was not well educated, but then he had lot of wisdom. So APJ Abdul Kalam belonged to this particular family. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiyamma. Helpmate, a real support. His wife, who was always with supporting his father, that is Ashiyamma. His mother was a very supportive person. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. So she was so generous that she used to feed people. Whoever came down asking for food, she fed them every day. So Abdul Kalam, he says that she must have fed more people than actually the number of members in the family. So she was so generous. She was a very generous person. Who is this? His mother's name was Ashiyamma. Moving ahead. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, born to tall and handsome parents. We lived in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. So he was one of the many children. In those days, there were many children, not just one or two. There used to be maybe dozens of children in the house. So he was one of the many children. He was a very short boy with rather undistinguished looks that were attractive, good looks, was tall, who was born to tall and handsome parents. His parents were really good looking. He lived in an ancestral house on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. Moving ahead. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. So austere meaning very simple, strict and severe. He was a very simple man but very strict, who had lot of values inbuilt in him, innate in him. So he used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries that were not necessary. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine or clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. So with such parents, he felt very secure. He got whatever was needed for the survival, and he was really happy in his childhood, though his father did not spend on unnecessary comforts and luxuries. Okay, let's move, students. The Second World War broke out in 1939 when I was 8 years old. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds erupted in the market. I used to collect the seeds and sell them to a provision shop on Mosque Street. So during this, when he was a child, he was 8 years old, the Second World War actually broke down. Here he was not able to understand the demand for tamarind seeds suddenly which erupted in the market. So what he used to do, I here meaning Abdul Kalam, okay. So he used to collect the seeds and sell them in the provision shop, that is a store on the Mosque Street. A day's collection would fetch me the princely sum of 1 anna. So what does princely sum means? A generous amount, okay, of 1 anna. At that time, 1 anna, it's like an old Indian coin which was worth about 6 paise, okay. Imagine it was just 6 paise. It was a generous amount. He felt very proud that he had earned this 1 anna for whatever he had collected, that is the tamarind seeds, and selling it off in the store. So he got this princely sum of 1 anna. My brother-in-law Jalaluddin would tell me stories about the war which I would later attempt to trace in the headlines in Dinamani. Dinamani was the local newspaper of that time. So he used to read those news that used to be published in the newspapers. Our area, being isolated, was completely unaffected by the war. So he was staying in a place which was not really affected by the war. It was a segregated or secluded spot wherein not much of these kind of activities were taking place. But soon India was forced to join the Allied forces and something like a state of emergency was declared. So Allied forces means they were forced to join the armies of UK, USA and Russia during the Second World War. So India was forced into joining these Allied forces. The first casualty came in the form of the suspension of the train halt at Rameshwaram station. So there was a suspension, in the sense there was temporary cancellation, temporary stoppage of the train halt. So no trains were halting at Rameshwaram stations. It was kind of an emergency declared in the place. So the trains did not stop at Rameshwaram station. What happened then? The newspapers now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameshwaram road between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkodi. Okay, so the newspaper, that is Dinamani, which was a local newspaper, lot of news was available on this in this newspaper. However, because of this kind of an emergency that was declared, the newspapers were not reaching the city directly. They had to be thrown from the moving train because the halt at Rameshwaram station was cancelled for some time. So it had to be thrown on the Rameshwaram road that was between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkodi. These were two different places. Okay. That forced my cousin Samsuddin, who distributed newspapers in Rameshwaram, to look for a helping hand to catch the bundles, and as if naturally I filled the slot. So here his cousin, that is Dr. Abdul Kalam's cousin Samsuddin, used to distribute newspapers in Rameshwaram, but because there was no halt and the newspapers had to be thrown out of the moving train, so he needed somebody who could catch hold of these newspapers and distribute it in the city. So naturally Abdul Kalam filled the slot. That is, he took up this particular position to help his cousin. Samsuddin helped me earn my first wages. Half a century later, I can still feel the surge of pride in earning my own money for the first time. So for whatever work he did for distributing the newspapers, his cousin used to give him some amount of money. So he felt really happy and satisfied. So surge of pride means there was some kind of a happiness and satisfaction in earning that particular money of your own for the first time. So Abdul Kalam was really happy about it. Every child is born with some inherited characteristics into a specific socio-economic and emotional environment and trained in certain ways by figures of authority. I inherited honesty and self-discipline from my father. From my mother, I inherited faith and goodness and deep kindness, and so did my three brothers and sister. So each child, he says, inherits everything from the family itself. They are trained in a certain way because of the family. The family, the figures of authority in the family influences a child's development in a great way. So he says that he inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father, and he inherited faith in being good and being kind to people from his mother. So did his three brothers and sisters. So he had three brothers and a sister. So all of them had similar characteristics, similar qualities which they inherited from their parents. I had three close friends in my childhood: Ramanatha Shastri, Aravindan, and Shiva Prakashan. So these were his very close friends. All these boys were from orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. As children, none of us ever felt any difference amongst ourselves because of our religious differences and upbringing. So they belong to a orthodox Hindu family, and APJ Abdul Kalam was more towards, he was a Muslim by religion. So orthodox meaning very conservative, very traditional in nature. Okay, so the friends were all belonging to this kind of an orthodox Brahmin family. However, all of them were very close to each other and they didn't have any kind of such differences in their upbringing. In fact, Ramanatha Shastri was a son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the high priest of Rameshwaram temple. So Ramanatha Shastri was the son of the priest. Okay. Later he took over the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple from his father. So later on Ramanatha Shastri became the priest after his father. Aravindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims. So he entered into the transportation business where he would arrange for the people who visit Rameshwaram. And Shiva Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railway. So he handled the catering department of the railways, the Southern Railway. So all entered different fields. During the annual Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony, our family used to arrange boats with a special platform for carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site situated in the middle of the pond called Ramatirtha, which was near our house. So there in olden days, in these kind of cities like Rameshwaram, there are a lot of ceremonies, lot of programs, lot of festivals celebrated with great vigor. So Sita Rama Kalyana, meaning the marriage ceremony of Lord Rama and Sita, they used to arrange this in boats. Okay, and their family, that is Abdul Kalam's family, had the chance of carrying the idols, okay, of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site. So, which is situated in the middle of the pond called Rama Tirtha, which was very close to their house. Events from the Ramayana and from the life of the prophet were the bedtime stories my mother and grandmother would tell the children in our family. Prophet means Godman. Okay, so the stories that were narrated to him, the bedtime stories narrated to them by the mother and grandmother, were all related to the Ramayana. People from various religious sects and from the life of prophets. So they used to narrate these stories to the children when they went to sleep. So this was a kind of situation that was there in the city of Rameshwaram during his childhood. How he landed up, what were the other experiences that he had in life, we will continue this in the next class. So go through the whatever we have done so far. Now you will get the link. You have to answer the questions that are put forth there and submit the same on that particular link.